Alrighty, hey guys. This is going to be my part 3 on my Detech coil review. You might be wondering, what the hell is a Garrett AT Pro sitting on my table? Yes, I've bought a new metal detector. I'm going to explain why I bought this and also go into the comparison between the two. One of my subscribers actually asked me a little while ago on I think it was on the first Detech review, about how it would compare, how the Detech SEF Coil would compare to the Garrett AT Pro. And I actually said, if I ever get back to, or next time I get back to see Martin down in Bavaria, I said if next time Martin and I go to Germany, next time we hunt together, I thought, maybe I could do a review, get him, do a bit of a comparison. Anyways, I got a couple of things to tell you. First of all, you know that I was pretty frustrated with this coil and its performance, and you would have seen that in the second part of this review on the Detect coil. I'm pretty disappointed with its love of trash and its lack of sensitivity. This is the biggest thing that really drove me crazy. I still wasn't sure, after doing the review, posting and thinking about it, I still wasn't sure, maybe it was just the area that I was in, or maybe, maybe I thought, I'll need to do another video and think about it a little bit more. But then a couple of things came up. First of all, you guys might have seen Sondel Roby. He's a guy down in near Lake Constance, or the Northern Sea here in Germany. You probably subscribe to him as well. German guy, and he has the XP Deus. And I actually was originally planning on buying the XP Deus. You might have noticed when I first told you that I was thinking about getting this coil, or I picked this coil up. Number one reason was because I thought, okay, I'll skip the AT Pro and go straight to a Deus. Everyone's raving about it, it's going to be the one. And then I saw him taking it into the water, and he did his review on his using a coaxial cable. Fantastic review. Check it out if you have an XP Deus. Not a review, a do-it-yourself mod. Using a coaxial cable to the wireless coil to the headset, lets it work in water. And I watched it and I thought, great, I love mods, that's awesome. But then I thought, wait a minute, how much is it XP Deus? In my head I thought it was about $1,000, something like this. I thought it's an expensive one. Anyway, it turns out here in Europe they cost 1,500 euros. 1,500 euros, that's a lot of money. And I thought about it, and I realized that that's not the machine that I want for what I do. Now, to explain that, first of all, I do a lot of underwater detecting. Here in Germany where I live, we're right next to the Rhine River, which everyone knows the Rhine. And along the Rhine there are just countless lakes, swimming holes, of course, where everyone goes in the summer. So they're full of people in the summer, and it's a lot of fun to go there. And I used to do this summer. I bought a Tesoro Tiger Shark underwater dive detector. I got it on second hand for a really good price, and it was a bit of a lucky auction. And anyways, I did a lot of underwater detecting, a couple of gold rings, bunch of silver, heaps of coins, had so much fun. And I recently decided to sell it because it also loved bottle caps. It was a great machine, but it loved bottle caps, and there was no real distinguishing bottle caps. Now, I know every detector's the bloody same. They're really, to be honest. The reason I sold it was because of that, and my plan was to buy the AT Pro. And the main reason is because when I go to the lakes, I only really use the metal detector with the snorkel. I love underwater detecting, but don't have the diving equipment and stuff here in Germany, so can't be bothered getting into that either. So snorkeling only, and that's where the AT Pro comes into it. That's waterproof to 3 meters. So basically I sold the Tesoro, and I got enough money to buy this from the Tesoro because I actually sold it for more than I paid for it. I actually made a bit of money on it. So my plan was to buy this, and I held off thinking, come on, I'll buy a better machine. But man, taking a 1,500 euro machine anywhere near water to me doesn't make any sense. So that's why I got this one. I picked it up really cheap. I got it from a seller in Italy, actually, shipped to Germany for a song. It was great. It basically was cheaper than if I was to import it from the US myself and pay the 19% value-added tax we have here in Germany. It's very expensive. So getting it from Italy proved good for me. Now, you want to hear about the test. First of all, I have here here is my test paper. I did an air test between the two of them yesterday evening, watching Deep Digger Dan's metal detecting awards. Man, that went for an hour. So did my air test. It was pretty thorough. So you can see here, I did a test. Now you can't see. I'm going to put the picture up with all the stuff right now. Okay, so now you've seen it with all of the things on there. You can see I've got a pretty good range of stuff that I tested. Everything from fine silver chains up through gold rings, gold coins. I wish I had gold coins to check, other than 1 ounces. But basically, I went through a couple of coins, different sized coins, some old coins, some modern coins. The main two that were of interest to me were the silver hammers and the Napoleon, the big. I've used the Napoleon there, not a big quote. So the Napoleon III, Bell Guy 81 just found one a couple of days ago. Napoleon III, it's a wicked coin. I also found one. So leave it. I've got one. Excellent. All right. Basically, you see in the test sheet here, if you go back and pause it or whatever, what I did was I got the AT Pro. All the numbers on the bottom are the AT Pros, and all the numbers on the top of the ACE 250 with the Detech SEF Coil. Now, if you go down the list, right, if you have a look, I can put it up again. Maybe I'll put it up again now. Hope I can edit that. All right, so if you have a look again, basically, as you go down the numbers, there are 2 numbers in each side. Now, you might be wondering what that is. Oh, I wasn't very smart. Ah, there's a coin. Yes, I didn't bring any coins, but here's a €2. Luckily, it's sitting on the table. The way I tested it was, I did 2 tests. First of all, I did an air test this way, using the coin flat against it. And then I did a test this way, okay? Because obviously that's much more difficult. I didn't do it this way with the D, where you get the double tone. I did it this way. Okay, so this way and straight up like this. Now, of course, you get a better reading this way. That's clear. But this way is very difficult for the machine to catch it. So this is a good way to test the sensitivity. Well, I thought it was. Now, how did it go? Basically, I was a little surprised. The AT Pro is actually a pretty good machine. If you run down the list, on a basically, if you run down the list, I tested it. You probably want to know the modes that I tested it in. The ACE 250 was 2 below full on sensitivity, all metal mode, and of course the Garrett AT Pro was basically the same 2 below sensitivity on standard zero mode, which means no discrimination, like the all metal mode in the ACE 250. So it's basically the same set. Now you're probably all about to start going, oh, why didn't he test it in Pro mode? Why didn't he do it in Pro mode? It's much better. And I know it is. So I also did a couple of things in Pro mode. The only thing is I didn't have enough time when I was sitting here yesterday evening. I really couldn't be bothered going back and over it again. Look how many I did. So running down the list, on standard mode on the AT Pro, the sensitivity the same and everything the same. It was... If you look at them, the Detech was basically getting on the standard coins, it's basically the same, right? The AT, or should I say the AT Pro was getting about the same depth on a standard on the standard test, you know, this test was getting basically the same, right? So like if you look at like the Napoleon III coin, which is big copper, 25 centimeter depth, right? Okay, great. The one Kreutzer was a little bit more, 23 centimeters versus the AT Pro was 21 centimeters. The modern coins, the modern coins, the 20 cent and 50 cent euro cents, this actually picked up deeper. So for the big targets, even for the Crodel, I did the Crodel test. If you go back in the video, I'm not going to keep putting it up. 29 centimeters on the Crodel for the SEF, 25 for the AT Pro in standard mode. Now, I looked at that and I thought, okay, well, all of those are good, but they're the left-hand column, right? On the right-hand side, when I did the test this way to check the sensitivity, the AT Pro got a much better reading. So it was always minimum of 1.5 to 2 inches deeper that you could catch the coin this way, which shows that, I mean, you know, the orientation of a coin is never exact, right? They never sit perfectly, so you never get maximum depth, right? So if it works good at this range, it's going to be better at this range if it's in the ground this way. You get a much better. The AT Pro is just better in the orientation of finding coins at different orientations. Now that was of course standard mode. Now you can go through the list and check it out, but every one of those tests that I did, you actually, and this was with everything, I did it on 2 ways, unless it was a solid object. You'll see the sensitivity changes there a lot, right? Now the big thing for me, like I said, silver hammered and Napoleons, I'm not going to go into all of them in detail. You can take a look at what I got there. If you can read my messy handwriting, I was doing it quick. The big thing for me was the silver hammered. If you go back and have a look at the silver hammered, it was this one here, I've started. They both found it at 20 centimeters, right? Or 19, this one was a little bit less. The AT Pro got 1 centimeter more on the side test, right? This way, the normal test. However, the SEF only picked it up at 5 centimeters. So silver hammered at 5 centimeters in this orientation, whereas the AT Pro got it actually at 11 centimeters. That's over, it's like 2.5 inches more on the different orientation, which is a clear example of the loss in sensitivity on the SEF. So possibly I missed silver hammers that were in the orchard, for example, or wherever I was with this one on the field also, because of that orientation. So it shows that the sensitivity here on this AT Pro, yes, it's a 15 kilohertz machine, I think is going to be the big difference in finding and versus missing stuff. And it also points out, if you go through the list again, if you go back or whatever, it really shows that the SEF is great if you're looking for big things, right? If you're only looking for relics, if you're only looking for, like, you know, the Kroger, you got 2 inches over the AT Pro. So if you're only looking for the big items, you're good to get an SEF. Depends what you're looking for. Relic hunting, that's great. If you want coins, it really, especially in Europe, if you want hammers, or in the UK, you're going to miss them with this SEF, that's for sure. The sensitivity is horrible. So, even down to, if you look at the silver chain, if you go back again, a very fine silver chain. Now, I found this with the Tessero. The Tessero is like, I think, an 18 kilohertz machine. It's a very sensitive machine. The Tessero is known to be a very sensitive machine. And I found that, I can't remember how deep it was because, you know, when you're underwater, you're scooping. I use a plastic scoop. However, this one wouldn't register with that until 1 centimeter. It was literally rubbing on the coil center before it actually rang up. So that to me was pretty poor. This one here got at least about 1.5 inches, but realistically, that's a tough thing to pick up, a fine silver chain. However, I'm happy with the performance here of the AT Pro. That sounds like it's going to be a good thing. Then it gets even better, because for the two, like I said, I didn't have time to do it, but I went to the Napoleon, the third coin, and the silver hammered. So big copper, which is our Kreutzers, and the fine silver hammers, which are the ones we're looking for. And if you look through back at the chart, actually I don't think I have it written on there. I did this afterwards. You can see at the top the silver hammered, and you can see here the Napoleon III big copper. Basically on Pro mode, I put it into Pro Zero. It was Pro Zero. I could clear audible signal on the silver hammered at 25 centimeters, which is 6 centimeters more than this guy. And also it's 5 centimeters, that's 2 inches more over standard mode, which really shows the benefit for using the AT Pro in its Pro mode. So silver hammered, that's a silver hammered hunter right there. Also on the the horizontal, actually this is vertical orientation, it got to 13 centimeters, so it got another inch over the over in standard mode. So it's much more sensitive. It's it's just better Pro mode. I think I'll only be hunting in Pro mode. Also on the Napoleon III, the difference there was I got it at 31 centimeters, a clear signal at 31 centimeters on the Napoleon. Whereas in standard mode it was only at 25, so that is, that's 2.5 inches more in the Pro mode. So definitely know I'll be hunting in Pro mode, and I haven't been able to use this yet, but I've watched the DVD and the tips, and all you guys on YouTube that have got all the tips on what you should be doing, how you should be using it and stuff. So I've kind of read up and learned about it. Other good news is you might see there. This one it's the new model, so it comes with the hardcore arm rest there, so hopefully that lasts me a bit of time. So anyways, that's my little wrap up of the Detech SEF Coil. It's the 15 by 12 inch or the 38 by 30 on the Garrett ACE 250 versus now all of what you saw was versus the Garrett AT Pro on standard Zero mode. Okay, hope that was useful, and for you guys anyone who's thinking of buying this coil, I know I was a little negative about it in my second one, but I was kind of a bit disappointed in the performance. I will say though, really this is a good coil, but it's a good coil for its own reason, its own environment, and its own purpose. If you're looking for relics and you're looking for big items, anything big, this is your coil. It's massive, it does go really deep, and it's practical. However, if you want a general all-round shooter and you want to be able to discriminate, get through the iron, this fails miserably. It picks up, you can't get through the iron, it picks up all of the, rings bad on trash. It's not good. Not iron, but you know what I mean, iron trash. It's a good coil for what it does, but don't expect it to be something else like I did. Okay, so it was kind of my fault. I don't put that on Detech, I put that on me, because I didn't actually understand the real purpose of it. I thought it was going to do what this coil does. It's different ball game. So my bad. However, I've got this one now, and like I said to you, it wasn't any extra expense to me. I sold the Tessero, got this one using the money that I got for the Tessero, which was great. So I won't be investing in a €1,500 machine, because that makes no sense to me. I'm going to be using the Garrett AT Pro. I am, however, considering buying a sniper coil for this one. I'm thinking the 4-inch sniper coil could be good for getting out on the beach, at the lake, the beach at the lake. The problem with that area is that a lot of people throw bottle caps everywhere. We drink a lot of beer in Germany. It's just how it is. Alright, anyways, I hope you guys found this informative, useful. Anyone who's looking at buying the coil, I hope that helped you out. It's probably the first comparison, I think, between these, so yeah. And whoever it was, I forget the guy in the US who asked about this, there you go, there it is. There's my review. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for my next videos with the AT Pro. Good news is, finally my new permission has been plowed. So when I get a chance, and also the weather's good at the moment as well. We've passed the bad weather. You can see it's a nice sunny day today. I've only come home from lunch today. I'm actually going back to work. Need to leave here in a couple of minutes. So I thought I'd make this video quick. Yeah, expect some videos with the AT Pro when I get some time to go out on this new permission. It's plowed. Yes. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch you later.